Is there anyone else in the public that would wish to speak to this matter? Please come forward. Anyone else from the public? This time I'll turn it back to the applicant and ask the applicant to come forward for rebuttal.
I think we've addressed all the issues that were brought up, and feel confident that we've addressed the concerns of the neighborhood. There was one other thing that was brought up last week, or last month, and that was the dedication of Thunder Road, and that we have a preliminary plat in the town now to plat the first 4 lots, which includes the Bush project and this project. And I would assume that within the next month or so, we'll be recording the final plat. That will give the dedication of the first section of Thunder Road. The rest of 60-some acres in the business park as developed will follow suit.
Is there any additional testimony that the board would like to consider at this time? Commissioner Herring?
A question was brought up about the scales, and I'm curious as to whether or not they're still on the plans as they were originally presented.
We had talked about scales early on, and if there's enough demand for it, we'll certainly look into putting in a set of scales.
Mr. Coles?
Correct me if I'm wrong, were you not the contractor of record on Bush Road?
Yes.
Additional comments or questions? Did you hear that? Could you repeat your question, Mr. Qualls?
I asked Mr. Brown, he was the contractor of record for Bush Motorsports when it was built.
Yes.
Additional comments or questions from the board? The board wishes to consider any additional testimony at this time before I close the public hearing. Okay, at this time, I will now close the public hearing. So the rules, commissioners, have already been suspended, so we will now move forward with voting on the 4 findings of fact. We'll take I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and vote on this matter this evening. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Haynes made a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second? By Commissioner Compton, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving forward. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gamble to review the conditions once again.
Let me be sure with the applicant and Mr. Culberson and the board, of course, before the mayor moves to the vote on the conditions. Certainly not an indication the board approved. If approved, will you agree to these conditions? The first one is the one in the agenda packet that says the developer must install a dedicated left turn lane with appropriate storage on overhead bridge road. Is that correct, Mr. Culberson?
Yeah.
And does the applicant, if the applicant would come to the microphone so Mrs. Pope can get that on record, I'd really appreciate it. If approved this evening, will you agree to that condition?
Yes, I do.
The second one, and I will forgive me, I don't know that I still have it correctly. The second condition I had that was discussed was the left-hand turn from Mazeppa, is that right, onto the property of Miss Ava?
Geraldine and back, yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Board and Mr. Culberson. The third one is the discussion of whether you will agree not to promote or encourage 24-hour parking.
Yes, I will agree to that.
Okay. And the last one, members of the board, that I have is that the question is, will you agree to comply with all requirements necessary to obtain LEED certification?
Yes.
Is that, members of the board, does that sum up what the conditions that were discussed? Mr. Culberson as well? Okay. So you're satisfied with those 4 conditions?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Gamble. So the board is ready to proceed. Based upon the evidence presented, I'll ask the board to vote on the four findings of facts. We'll do each one of these separately. First, the board must find that the development proposed in the application does not materially endanger the public health or safety. If you're voting yes, please indicate by raising your hand. All those that say yes, please raise your hand.
Yes.
If you're voting no, please indicate by like sign. Okay, record that 6-0. Second, the board must find that development proposed in the application complies with all relevant town laws and ordinances, state and federal laws, and regulations, and any regulations imposed by the town board and agreed to by the applicant. If you're voting yes, please raise your hand now. I have 6 on this. Third, the board must find that the development proposed in the application will not substantially injure the value of adjoining or abutting properties or is a public necessity. If you would please raise your hand if you're voting yes. I have a 6 on this. Fourth and final, the board must find that the development proposed in the application will be in harmony with the area in which it is located and be in general conformity with the comprehensive land use plan. If you're voting yes, please indicate so by raising your hand at the time. This is what I have 6 on as well. The board having voted yes on all the findings of fact, I will ask for a motion to approve the issuance of the conditional use permit along with the conditions outlined by Mr. Gamble. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Herring. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Houston. Any discussion? Commissioner Houston.
No discussion, but I just think it's a good project for the employees of that area. Understand the words and everything. There's a problem with it, but I don't think it's gonna be a truck stop. I think it's something gonna be needed. We have a great park that's in that area. It also will be supported by community, Amity Hill, Troutman area, different areas like that that don't have any convenience store between Mooresville and Salisbury. I think it's a good fit for the employee base that don't have to leave that area to get back on 115, 150 to go get something to eat. They can go do it in 30 minutes, get a chance to rest, grab them something. So I think it's a great project. I wish it would have been announced with the area supported, but I think it's the fit for our employee base in that area.
Thank you, Commissioner Houston. Any additional comments during discussion from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The chair will now take a 10-minute recess and